Hello everybody, welcome back. It's of course Sport Federation TV, where every week we talk about what's happening with sport in the Western Cape and of course across the various districts. And recently we've seen sport have a very fast return back. There's inter-provincial championships happening, there's inter-club championships happening, inter-district championships, well, all sorts of activities. The events are certainly back, and it really is great to see that sport is so active. We'll be taking a look at what's happened recently in the world of boxing today. We'll also speak to Roxanne Clark. She joins us. She's been overseas with the Billie Jean King Cup, where, of course, she's been traveling with the team and making sure that things have been going well there. So that's, of course, in the tennis. But this past weekend, it was the Western Cape Lifesaving Interprovincial Championships. And, of course, they had their capping ceremony at the Big Bay Beach Club in Bloberg last week. But with me now is Johnny Lucas. He is the captain of the senior Western Cape Lifesaving squad. Johnny, welcome to Sport Federation TV.
Thanks, JP, for having me here.
First time for you last year.
Yes, first time.
Yeah. I must say, you're looking great in your kit,
No,
Western Cape kit, and this is now the official team kit.
Yes, no, it's very nice.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that. I mean, Western Cape Lifesaving, you guys got quite a big squad there of athletes from all around.
No, yes, so we do have quite a big squad. We have obviously the nippers ranging from under 12s to under 14s, then juniors from under 17s, under 19s, and then obviously seniors 19 and above.
Yeah.
So we come together as quite a big squad, and then we compete against all the other various provinces.
But before that, I mean, you guys are all, of course, at your own clubs.
Yes.
So a couple of clubs, do you guys go head-to-head first at a club level?
No, definitely. So they have what's known as trials, and different clubs will come compete, like Milton, Fisher, Clifton, Ladudno, Strand, and any other clubs that want to come along. And you battle it out, and then based on your events and how well you do in each one, they pick a team from there, and then you form the Western Cape Lifesaving team.
And what are the events that you would compete? Can the athlete compete only in his own event, or must you do all the events?
No, so you can choose which events you would like to compete in, but obviously you would want to do as many as possible to give yourself the better chance, because normally an all-rounder who likes to do beach and surf events can normally get picked over just a specialist, but you can go and choose the events you want to specialize in, and then you'll get normally picked from that one.
So do your points accumulate, or do the points as an athlete stay in a category, like let's say sprinting? Do you get points only for being a good sprinter, or is there an average point for all your events?
Well, if you compete at an event like interprovincial championships or SA champs, and you make the finals of sprints, if you come 8th, you get 1 point then towards your club.
Okay.
So based on how you do in the finals, you get that certain amount of points for that.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about this past weekend. Well, in fact, before we get to that, just tell us a little bit about your side of things. How did you get started with lifesaving?
Oh, it goes back a long time. So, funny enough, when I was 7 years old, back then, to join the club which I'm at now, the Dudno, you had to be 8 years old. But Fishhook Lifesaving Club, I could join a group when I was 7 called the Starfish Group. Yeah. So it kind of started out as there. And then my brother had been a part of lifesaving at Ladudno for a long time already. So then things kind of shifted, then I went over to Ladudno from there. And I've been there ever since.
So this runs in the family?
It does run in the family, yes. Well, just between my brother and myself, but I've always done lifesaving and I love it. Yeah.
So for you, then starting at the age of 7, you were competing against older guys?
Yes, you don't really start competing at the age of 7, but you get involved, you learn what lifesaving's about, and then you start competing 2 or 3 years later as under 9s.
Mom have to drop you off? Mom and dad have to drop you off at the beach kind of thing?
Oh no, definitely. They were huge supporters back then and still are now. Lots of drop-offs, pickups, everything like that.
Is that still the case? Moms and dads drop off their kids, they go to nippers training when they're the toddlers now, or the nippers like you call them. They go and off and they do their practice, and then parents come and fetch.
No, yes, pretty much. On a Tuesday and Sunday at Ladudno, specifically, parents will come drop off their nippers and kids, and then they'll go off for a couple of hours, and then they'll come back and pick up their children once training is finished.
So I've got a picture in my mind of parents coming from office, walking across the beach in their shoes in the sand to fetch their child.
Yes.
Is that the case?
No, pretty much, but they love it. They love to support. They love to see their children
Yeah.
being fun and active in the surf and on the beach. And then, yeah, they'll stand in their uniform from work, whatever,
Yeah.
and then wait until their child is finished training.
And so, how often then, for a nipper, for example, how many times a week would they do it? I mean, you guys are, from a lifesaving point of view, your
Yes.
clubs are always open.
No, yeah, it's pretty much always open. So it's normally about 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But each sessions can be an hour and a half to 2 hours
Yeah.
long. Yeah.
And at which stage do you guys, as lifesavers, I mean, we know that you do lifesaving and you've got clubhouses full of lifesavers. At which stage do they actually perform lifesaving on the beach?
So to do voluntary duty, you have to be a junior.
Okay.
So you've just finished nippers.
Yeah.
Now you go into your first year under 15 as a junior. So around about 15 years old, 14 years old, that's when you start doing active voluntary duty. And then
Yeah.
you form part of a squad under a squad leader, and then you do duty accordingly to that.
What does that mean? What does duty mean? What do you do then as a lifesaver when you're doing duty?
Yeah, sure. So at Ladano, we normally get split up into 4 duty squads, A, B, C, and D squad.
Yeah.
And then you get designated a duty squad leader. And then and then once a month, your squad comes down and looks over the beach from a Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
and from a Sunday from 10 until 6 p.m. And you'll get a group of the new juniors from 15-year-olds all the way up until the older seniors, 25, 26-year-olds. And then you all come together and you watch and look after the beach as a team.
Is it a lot like Baywatch, what we see on TV? Is that how it is?
Yeah, no, the concept is definitely like similar to that, yeah.
So lifesaving has obviously become even more on the map since all those movies and TV shows started. I mean, you guys walk the beach like heroes, and everybody's looking at you, and you
Yeah, we
guys
try
have
to,
spotlights on you.
Yeah, no, we try to do that, exactly.
Well, that's great. So when you come to duties, what does that mean? I suppose you also have duties that you could be duty roster admin point of view in the club, or is duty always walking on the beach? Are you guys? Do you have to look out for sharks? Do you have to? Is it carrying equipment? I mean, what does a duty typically mean then when you're on duty?
Yeah, no, sure. So, for example, we come down on a Saturday at 1:30 p.m. to set up. The whole squad will come together. We'll put up the tent on the beach, set up the flags and a safe place to swim,
Yeah.
take down the craft, in case we need to perform rescues, torpedo buoys, fins. And then we also set up a roster for towers.
Okay.
So, for example, one junior or whoever will be sitting on a tower with binoculars and a radio.
Right.
And they'll be scouting the beach and water just to make sure everything's safe. And then the rest of the squad will be sitting under the tent on the beach, also waiting to see if anything's going to happen. And then we'll also get 2 people to walk up and down the beach with a torpedo buoy and fins and radio, just in case anything goes down, and then
So
they
I
can...
mean, it sounds quite organized. I mean, you guys are sitting there on towers with
No,
radio
exactly.
controls and everything, and it looks like you just walk the beach, but you're all in communication with each other. It's all electronically organized. It's quite coordinated.
No, exactly. There's actually a lot that goes on behind the scenes in terms of setting up properly, making sure everything's working, and then if a rescue does go down, then we're pretty organized and get to it pretty quickly.
Johnny, so let's go to the event, a big event for you guys this past weekend. People from all over the country.
Yes, no, it was a big event. So we come together to compete against many different provinces, and it's over a 2-day competition. And day 1 was the pool events at Kutzenberg Pool out near Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
That was on the Saturday, and then Sunday we did the surf and beach events.
So provinces from all over the country that come down. This is the interprovincials. It was in the Strand. So
Yes.
is this normal that you would have the pool event, which I'm assuming is it straight up swimming, just swimming up and down? Or is
Oh, no,
it
no,
diving
it's very different to like what you see in Olympic swimming.
Okay.
We do everything from swimming with Russians, which are really long fins,
Yeah.
to towing mannequins, and also with a rescue tube. Like we'll put it around the mannequins and then swim back. There's many, many events that you can do in the pool. Everything from the super lifesaver to the 50-meter mannequin tow. There's many events.
So these are all practical things that you're actually doing in the swimming pool. Nothing to do with normal speed swimming.
No, yes, completely different.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's. I mean, that's completely. So you're taking essentially the kind of swimming that you might have to do in the real world at a life-saving, if you were in an incident, as a life-saving. What do you call it? When you're on duty.
Yes.
And you're taking that application and you're doing it now in the pool, and they're sort of testing you.
No, exactly. It's all like our rescue situations. So
Yeah.
that's what we perform in the pool when we race.
So how does that work then from a competitive point of view? Is it, I mean, if it's, are you racing with a mannequin? Is it a question of from one side to the other side who gets there quicker? Or
No, exactly.
or
So as much as it is a race, it is also a time thing. So if
Yeah.
you get to the side first, towing your mannequin, you are going to win the event.
okay,
It's pretty much about who can rescue the patient the fastest.
yeah,
And then also that's how you win the event. Yeah.
that's fascinating. So you guys competed now against provinces from all over the country.
Yes.
Obviously, the big result is that you guys took the gold medal.
The overall win, yes. we
Yeah,
did. Yeah, from the pool to the surf and beach events.
and but you had a number of squads there as well, juniors, nippers,
Yes, nippers, juniors, seniors.
and how did we all do?
No, very well. So nippers overall won the event.
Yeah.
Juniors overall won the event, and then as a cumulative thing, we won the overall events. Yeah, nippers, juniors, seniors.
So you clean sweep, Western Cape, dominating South Africa.
Yes.
Your big challenge was, though, apparently going to come from KZN.
Oh no, definitely. So KZN have always been really strong. They won the year before in Durban,
Yeah.
so we were pretty determined to get them back this year, and we managed. So
Yeah.
happy.
So Saturday was in the pool,
Yes.
and then of course Sunday was the beach event in the Strand on the beach. And what are the activities that you guys then did during the beach event?
Sure. So there are many events you can do: a board race, surf ski, and then on the beach sprints, beach relay, flags. Then back in the water, surf, swim, and then we obviously have your relays, ski relay,
Yeah.
board relay, taplin. And there's many events you can also do.
I mean, you're talking about quite a lot of events that's active right through the day. What is your speciality, for example?
So I specialize in board and ski.
Board and skiing,
Yeah.
okay.
I love the water events.
Yeah,
especially.
yeah. But is it from early in the morning? I mean, it sounds to me like it's a full day of activity.
Oh no, definitely. So the first whistle went off at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
with the surf ski race, and then I think the last whistle only at about 4:30. So it's a very packed day.
So how do you manage your day? I mean, if you obviously have to think about your nutrition, you got to think about your hydration, you got to be able to get some rest. I don't know. You maybe even need to do some, if it's very intense, maybe even need to do some strapping or icing.
No, exactly. So you'll finish an event, like for example surf ski, and then once you get to the end, you'll hand in your number, and then you normally have about, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how many age groups there are in front of you,
Yeah.
before your next event. So you would go back to your tent quickly, have a drink, have a snack, and then just maybe have a quick sit down, and then get ready for your next event.
And it's the same challenge for everybody. Everybody has to figure out how to get ready for the next one.
No, exactly. So some people obviously have more events than others,
Yeah,
depending on like
yeah.
if you're an all-rounder or not. But yeah, and the rest time is normally about the same.
So what comes for you? What comes next for you guys now? I mean, now you've won the interprovincials. I mean, the other interesting thing that you mentioned to me during the break was that you had the national squad here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this year was interesting. So in previous years, the national squads obviously put into their different provinces, and they compete all against each other. But this year, the head coach thought it would be a good idea for them to have like a training camp. So what they did was the national team formed like their own province,
Yeah.
and then they competed against Western Cape, KZN, Eastern Cape, Free State, etc. But what was interesting was they didn't get any points like allocated to
Yeah,
their
yeah.
province, the national team.
Okay.
So if you were to come second behind a national team member, you would have come first and gotten maximum points.
And did you guys manage to give those national guys a bit of a push?
Yeah, I think in some events we gave them a run for their money. Yeah. But
So
they're looking good.
So you got a couple of world champions in that squad. So yeah, I mean, so I think, and most of them being from the Western Cape as well.
Yes.
Even though they might live somewhere else now, they're still Western Cape, home,
Exactly.
born and bred. So where do you guys go now? Western Cape champs have just been finished. I mean, interprovincials at least. Now you've done this. Do you guys now go to another event, an SA champs, or do you each go back to your clubs, or how does it work?
No, so now we each go back to our own clubs, but now the new season's about to start in September. So now
okay.
everyone will probably take a short rest, maybe 1 or 2 weeks off, and then we'll go back to normal training, and then the season will start again in September.
Right.
But then the national team, they are going to Worlds next year in September, so they'll be training hard up until then. Yeah.
So look, last week I was lucky enough to join you guys at the capping ceremony, and I think it's important for us to maybe end off with this on this note. You're one of the first teams in the Western Cape to actually to wear the kit, for example. I mean, there's a couple of guys that have done it. Well, in fact, some have done it already. But seeing the capping ceremony and all the kids proudly wearing the Western Cape emblem, which is really the provincial equivalent of the South African Protea, that was a fantastic occasion. Did you get the feeling of provincial pride amongst the squad? Did they feel that? Because you all looked the same, you all dressed the same. It looked fantastic.
Oh no, definitely. I think it's a huge honour to represent your province, because then you are representing the best of the best within your province. So no, it's definitely a huge honour, and yeah, we all come together as a proper team, and the stoke is high, so it's good.
The stoke is high.
The stoke.
You guys still got that bit of a surfer language going on. Do you guys in the surfers, you talk your own lingo?
A little bit.
Yeah. So of course at that event though, it was the capping ceremony in Bloberg, and I must say hats off to your president, Sean Latergan, organisers like Diane Kramer, a lot of administrators working very hard behind the scenes to make sure that you guys are able to do what you do. But also a wide variety of people involved there, from girls to boys, juniors, moms and dads, nice family of people involved in Lifesaving.
No, definitely. I think it's very much a family-orientated sport, because, like you said earlier on in our interview, parents need to drop off nippers and their own children, so they're always actively involved. And then they also tend to become also members of the club and will help behind the scenes, all the admin and getting their children to SA champs. So there's a lot of support that comes from family, friends, and behind the scenes.
So Johnny, on your side, from a personal point of view, you're also captain of the side. How did it feel to captain? Did you feel like you had an extra weight on your shoulders?
Not really. So I love the leadership role, and I really strive to try to get everyone on the same page. For example, when you're warming up, just to get everyone's minds in the right headspace.
Yeah.
And it felt really good to captain a team.
Oh, that's great.
Especially the winning team.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Well, you're the captain of the best province in the country. I mean, that's absolutely great. I think Western Cape's very proud of that. What comes next for you now, personally?
Personally, I'll start working towards my own goals for next year for Lifesaving, and then just keep training hard until that happens.
That's fantastic, Johnny. Listen, we're going to say thanks for joining us on Sport Federation TV. We're super proud of you and the team, and well done. We're looking forward to getting you guys back.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
There we go, folks. Johnny Lucas, captain of the Western Cape Lifesaving squad. They've just won the Interprovincials. They beat all the provinces across all of the categories. The juniors, the nippers, and the seniors walking away with the gold medal. So Western Cape Lifesaving, definitely the best life-saving province in the country. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking sport. Don't go away.